Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. Listen, let's go ahead and talk about these ratings for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. 657,000. Is that what that say? I can't read, child. Listen, these ratings are dwindling faster than anyone's uterus in Potomac, child. These ratings are so low. I mean, this is bad. How our friend Bengeworthy say, this is bad. How Carisha say, real bad. Yeah, the ratings haven't been this low since 2008. The ratings haven't been this low since I was 11, 12 years old. The ratings haven't been this low since Obama was elected into office. The ratings haven't been this low since the recession before the last recession before the last recession. The ratings haven't been this low since they was playing Beyonce's I Am Sasha Fierce and Single Ladies on the damn radio. These ratings are low. These ratings are low, low, low to the flow. All the way down to the ground on this little TV show, these ratings are low. Okay, petty low. Marlo. These ratings are low. Sweet and low. These ratings are low. And listen, I'm not trying to drag the girls. I'm not trying to shade the girls. I'm not trying to read the girls down. I want the women to succeed. I want the show to succeed. I love talking about these women. And I feel as though the folks, the fans, the audience, they are still very much so interested in the franchise. They're interested in the women because we talk about it and they trend every week and they're all over the blogs. And so people are interested, but people are tired of the stagnant, stale, dry, boring, lame, whack storylines. And the folks on Twitter and social media, they're blaming Eric Fuller. They're blaming Kenya Moore. They're blaming Kandi. They're blaming Marlo and her antics. They're blaming production. They're blaming Andy. They're blaming NBC Universal. They're blaming me. They're blaming you. These ratings are comparable to the infomercials that play on Bravo past 2 a.m. These ratings are comparable to Summer House Martha's Vineyard. These ratings are comparable to Portia's Family Matters and Kandi and the Gang. These ratings are comparable to The Dancing Queens or Love Match Atlanta or any show on Bravo that really nobody's watching. Okay? Atlanta then let Vanderpump, Jersey, Beverly Hills, Captain Hook, what's his name? Captain Hook on Summer House, not Summer House. What's that shit? Below Deck. How y'all let a show about boats beat y'all? How y'all let a Housewives spinoff? How y'all let Portia's Family Matters, but then y'all don't want Portia and Simon to be on the show because y'all felt like the COVID season was whack because y'all wouldn't let go of the Bolo storyline. And without Portia and getting her peaches allegedly cobbled, what will we talk about? If the ratings get so bad, they might have to bring back Nene. I mean, they brought back Vicky. They've been begging Bethany. They have brought back, who are some other girls they brought back? Tamara. And these are girls that have low-key dragged Bravo now. They ain't dragged Bravo in the same manner that Nene did. Nene gonna have to lick a lot of bottoms to get back on top. Okay, Nene, start licking those bottoms and you need to start with Eva. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know what's going to revive this franchise, but hunty. You know, they're blaming everybody. Listen, there's a lot of accountability to be, to spread around. First things first, the girls on, they're going on Twitter and blaming executive producer Eric Fuller, right? Symbiotic or Mr. Speaks TV went on to Twitter and basically said Eric Fuller is single-handedly destroying all of the Black Housewives franchises, and it's about time we discuss Eric's lackluster performance as the executive producer of Potomac and Atlanta and clear biases to losers like Sheree, Marlo, Giselle, and Robin Dixon, the green-eyed bandit. And y'all, Eric Fuller actually responded to the mess, and he said, well, I'll be damned. This is news to me. Laughing face emoji, laughing face emoji. And honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen a picture of Mr. Eric, but his skin is tight. Okay, that Bob said, Eric is a cutie pie. But listen, Eric, do I feel like Eric single-handedly destroyed the show? No, Eric Fuller did not single-handedly destroy the show by himself, okay? Now, does he bear a lot of the responsibility or most of it? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to do too much on Eric. Okay. We're not going to do too much on his ass. But, something needs to be said about the fact that he's on Instagram stories with laughing face emojis while his show is dwindling. Something needs to be said about that. Something needs to be said about the fact that, why is you laughing? Why is you laughing when this show, I mean, granted, it was Memorial Day weekend. Granted, the girls were having cookouts. Granted, the girls were in DC doing God knows what. Okay. Granted, the girls were in DC in the clubs drinking and doing God knows what. But listen, if it's a holiday weekend, don't that mean people at home watching TV? Don't that mean people is at home binging on Peacock? I mean, aren't they at home bored? Not everybody went. I didn't go to no barbecues. And so, yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend, but the girls were at home and the girls have DVR and the girls have Peacock. Why they not watching? Okay. And so I just find it interesting, Mr. Eric. I like you, Mr. Eric. Okay. Listen, I can't go in on every executive producer. So listen, I like Mr. Eric, but Mr. Eric, why is you laughing when your show was not doing that hot? The show ain't doing. Okay, so moving right along. So that's Mr. Eric. And then they're blaming Kenya and Kandi, right? So I'll let y'all know why they blaming Kenya and Kandi. They blaming Kenya and Kandi because Kenya and Kandi are the veterans. They're blaming Kenya and Kandi because as the veterans, y'all should be carrying the show. And I think this is proof from the last 2 seasons that Kenya and Kandi can't carry the show. Okay, this is proof from the last 2 seasons. The last season was the lowest rated season, and then y'all just received the lowest rated episode since season 1. So Twitter is putting some blame onto these two because they're the 2 most senior members of the cast. And honestly, they do bear some responsibility because it's y'all job as the senior members to make it work. It's y'all job to make it work and to execute and make sure that we have a great show for the viewers. It's y'all's job. Y'all supposed to be showing the newbies how it's done, and I feel like y'all not doing that. I feel like, we need a mother hen, we need a mother goose, we need a woman like a Kandi, like a most paid and a most, longest running housewife. We need you and your status, your queen status, to help usher in the new, RHOA, generation. We need that leader. But I feel like Kandi don't want to be no leader because she's selfish. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I know y'all think I hate Kandi, which I don't. But Kandi is selfish in the fact that, she don't care about Drew's relationship with Marlo, or Kenya's relationship with Marlo, or Manietta's relationship with Kenya, or Kenya's relationship with Courtney, or Courtney's relationship with Sonia, or Sonia's relationship with Drew. She doesn't really care about that stuff. Kandi just wants to make her coin, and she wants to do her scene, and she wants y'all to stop getting on her nerves, and she wants y'all to stop blaming her for global warming and climate change and the economy, child. Kandi don't want to be blamed for nothing else, so she rather just do her thing, film her scenes, and do her Broadway, and go about her mighty business, licking armpits and licking bottoms to get to the top. Da-da. But no, anyways, so yeah, so that's Kandi. And then Kenya is boring. Kenya is boring to me. Like season 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Kenya, the villain Kenya, I like. And then she had that child, and listen, I'm all for a woman evolving and maturing and becoming more stabilized and balanced and becoming more level-headed. I love that for Kenya. I think Kenya's an amazing mother. I think Kenya is noble. I think Kenya is fabulous. But Kenya's boring. When that child dropped, Kenya became boring. And am I the only one? And first off, it's evident in that damn Mobile, Alabama, Huntsville, Birmingham trip. Girl, why did you take us to Montgomery, child? That should have been Kenya's personal storyline. I don't feel like the world should have been involved in that. Like, it should not have been a group trip. It was boring, and that's partly production. production should have made an executive decision not to film that as a group thing because it didn't make sense. Let Kenya go to Alabama and let's all continue to film in Atlanta, child, because that was stupid. And why was Marlo and Courtney there? If this is so personal and so important to Kenya, it didn't make sense for Marlo especially to be there. That was stupid. So that's production's fault. Okay? So Kenya and production bear the brunt of the responsibility when it comes to that flop-ass trip, right? Kenya went onto Twitter the other day and basically said that, Marlo is the worst housewife of all time. And although that might not be too far off from the truth, what else is the truth, is the fact that the trip she planned was the worst trip ever on Housewives. So if Marlo is the worst housewife, you're the worst host. Right? And as a veteran, as someone who's been on the platform for 10 seasons or 10 years and 9 seasons, you should know better than this. I kind of feel like the women, and it's evident. And again, I think it has something to do with the fact that she's a mother. And it's kind of a double-edged sword in which I feel like I like this softer Kenya. But again, since the child, I feel like she don't care. She don't care. I see it in her fashions too. Like the way she be looking, it's like, damn, like being a mother really got you stressed out that you really don't want to get dressed up no more. And then along with that, it's like the more senior roles they get, like the more years, they start to get tenure, then they feel like, okay, well, I don't have to throw no lavish party. I don't have to throw no good trip. It's like you can just throw any and all thing. Now, what I did appreciate about Kandi that one time is when they went to Charleston, South Carolina, that was the best thing that came out of that trip or that came out of that season, period. I think they spent 3 days. Now, a lot of that trip was lame. But that night, that Kandi planned, that bachelorette party, that is how you do an event. And so sometimes when these girls gain their tenure status, they get a little bit lazy and they need a wake-up call. Okay? Kenya needs a reminder that when you don't do what you're supposed to do, okay, we'll put your ass on pause. Okay, we're going to put your ass, hold on. We're going to put your ass on pause. Okay? Because don't nobody want to go to Mobile, Alabama and be bored. Nobody wants to go to Alabama and be bored. Nobody wants to go to Deshaun's house and eat chicken. So anyways, that's that. Okay, so secondly. So thirdly, who next? We got Eric Fuller in production because child production is a mess. We got the senior members of the group not really pulling their weight. They just running amok in our palace, child, honey. And then we have, shout out to Mama D. And then we have, who the other girl? Marlo. No, let's start. Before Marlo was going to be the big shebang, I'm going to say Marlo for last because I know whenever I talk about Marlo, y'all get so upset. Let's talk about the friends and then we're going to circle back to Marlo. Courtney, I think, is a good addition. She's the best thing coming out this season. Not the best thing coming out, but she's the best addition. Courtney is the best addition this season. I don't think Courtney is amazing. However, she's better than Marietta. So take that and run with it. I think Courtney is needed for multiple reasons. One being, I like her upbeat attitude, right? Now, although Courtney is thirsty, okay, we already know that Courtney is thirsty when it comes to her and this beef with Kandi. But listen, other than that, I feel like I enjoy her upbeat energy. It's reminiscent of a Tanya, and Tanya's on my best housewives of all time list. So I like her upbeat energy. I also like the fact that she has authentic connections. Her kids went to school with Sheree's kids, so that's cool and all, and her and Sheree seem to be cool. And then I also like the fact that she gets along with Marlo. I also like the fact that she gets along with Drew, and now she's apparently cousins with Ralph. Now, speaking of the cousins thing, do y'all think this is normal for cousins?
We did a movie together. Shut
up. Do y'all see that? No, first off, why is they hugging so closely? Grabbing on his neck, grabbing on that ass, Ralph. Oh, she with it. She with it, y'all. Why is she grabbing like that? Mm-mm. And that's why Courtney's a great addition, because it's messy. Courtney is messy. I like that. I kind of like that. It's weird because y'all supposed to be cousins, but then it's kind of juicy. Like, Courtney's on the cusp of something. Courtney, I like you. Courtney's different. Courtney's quirky. Courtney's not afraid to get in there. Courtney's confident. Courtney's not boring. You know what I mean? And Courtney is a good resource and support system for Marlo, and I appreciate that. Which brings us to Monietta. Monietta's boring. And not only is she boring, I'm going to argue that she should be fired. I'm going to argue that Monietta is not needed. And it's really not personal. It's really a production casting thing. I feel as though Monietta has assumed this role of being Kandi's mouthpiece, being Kandi's support system. And the fact of the matter is that Kandi on this show does not need support. Okay? So, welcoming the comments, you're a Kandi hater. You're a Kandi hater. First off, I'm not finna lick Kandi's bottom to get on top. That's number one. Okay? Number two, Kandi don't need no support system. She's already good friends with Kenya. She's good friends with Sonya. She's friends with Drew. She's okay friends with Sheree. The only person on the cast that Kandi don't get along with is Marlo. So why is it that this woman basically gets along with everybody except one housewife, but she still gets to have an added on extra friend? What was the reason? I'm friends with everyone, and then I can add in my real friend to really have my back and to be my mouthpiece and what they call a puppet. Okay, how Carlos King said, Monietta, you don't have the I nor the T. And granted, you're a great housewife on paper. You're a great housewife as far as your resume. You have the qualifications, but you don't have the personality. You don't have the I nor the T. You are not the it girl, sis. And Kandi don't need no other friend. And I feel the same way about Potomac. I don't like when the scale isn't balanced. I don't like it that y'all keep bringing on these women who want to beef with Dr. Wendy to you, sweetie. I don't like it that Kandi has all of these friends. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like, if somebody already has a bunch of friends, why would you hire them another friend? If someone is on an island by themselves, why would you hire someone to beef with that person? Like, I feel like the producers need to think about this kind of stuff. Which, again, is why I say keep Courtney and get rid of Monietta. Kandi doesn't need a support system. She's friends with everybody already. Marlo is the one, and this is an unbiased opinion, and you can disagree with it, but you know I'm telling the truth. Marlo is the one that ain't got no friends except for Sheree, which is why I like Courtney onto the show, because she's a support system for Marlo who nobody likes. Now, they don't like her for great reason, for good reason, but she's on an island by herself most of the time anyways. So Courtney balances the scale. This is what the producers need to think about. If someone is being iced out, hey, maybe it's a great idea we give her a friend. Duh. Now that brings us to Marlo. Marlo is the most hated housewife right now. And for good reason. Okay, Marlo be acting a damn fool. But listen, here's the distinction that I want to make about Marlo. Because we're going to get into Marlo's ass. But I want to make this clear. I believe the fans are very committed to misunderstanding Marlo. They misunderstand her on purpose because they don't like her because of her actions. Marlo's actions overshadow her feelings, which are very valid. Okay? For example, when she said that Kandi did not help her expunge her record, Marlo never said that she expected Kandi to do that. Marlo never said that it was Kandi's job to do that. Marlo never said that she was upset that Kandi never did that. Marlo basically said that Kandi just did not do that. And the reason why she said that was because she was trying to highlight the fact that Courtney is a woman that she's only known for a week and a half and has already kind of helped her do something pretty meaningful in her life, which is help her get in contact with this lawyer that I'm assuming is an expert in trying to get people's records expunged, right? So if you didn't understand that, it's because either you lack critical thinking skills or you didn't want to because you just fundamentally don't like Marlo. And I get that. Y'all say that I am committed to, misunderstanding Kandi, and that's not the truth. I understand everything Kandi got going on and everything she presents to us. Now, do I agree with it? That's a different story. But y'all are committed to misunderstanding Marlo. Another example, y'all keep asking, what's the connection between her nephew and Kandi's cousin? Well, she went on to the Instagram Live and said that Kandi's lack of acknowledgement of her own cousin situation reminded her of Kandi's lack of acknowledgement for her nephew who died. That is not a difficult concept to understand. And you don't have to agree with that. You don't have to agree with the connection, but that's how that lady feels. And so the thing about the fans is that y'all be acting like y'all don't know what the hell going on. Some of y'all be acting like, I just don't understand. How does that make sense? And like doing math equations. And it's like, it's really simple. It's really simple. But I think people's dislike for Marlo overshadows their understanding of the feelings that are valid that she has. Right? If Marlo wants to think that Kandi has a gun violence problem at her restaurants, she's well within her right. If Marlo wants to think that Kenya should not have an opinion on the Drew thing, then Marlo can think that. If Marlo feels like, Drew is acting dumb, then she can think that. If Marlo feels like Kandi or Kenya, should not be leaving the scenes early and that she be leaving her or using her child as an excuse to not film, Marlo is well within her right to feel that. We cannot police this woman's feelings. Now, Marlo, that's where we have to get your ass together. I've said this before, but although Marlo's feelings are valid, Marlo, you look ridiculous on this show. You don't know how to act. You act like a child. Your behavior is inappropriate. It's unacceptable. It's childish. It's unbecoming of a housewife. It's unacceptable for you to slam the door in Manietta's face. It's unacceptable for you to bang on Kenya's door. It's unacceptable for you to go up into Drew's face. I thought it was rather strange how they did not show the clip of Marlo going into Drew's face and saying, "You bitch." Those are signs that the life coach, Sharon, or whatever her name is, it ain't working. Sharon, you might have to receive a pink slip. Marlo, you're wasting your money on Miss Sharon because Miss Sharon, I don't think she's giving you the tools. Maybe she is and you just not listening. You won't apply the tools that Sharon is giving you in your life. Because Marlo, your behavior is ridiculous. Okay? For you to think that it was okay to go to Kenya's door and bang it was a lack of self-awareness and self-control. Now, it looked like they was banging on the door at first as a joke, like, oh, let's go bang on her door, like we the po-po. Okay, fine. Ha ha, he, he. But listen, two people that don't like each other, whatever y'all do or say, okay, y'all are going to be extra sensitive towards each other. So even if you joking with me, I'm not going to take that when I don't fuck with you. You had no right to be jokey, ha-ha, and he-heing, and kikiing, and cackling with that woman. Bothering her, knocking and banging on her door like that. That was weird. That's suspicious. Lack of self-awareness. Lack of self-control. And then she cussed your ass out in front of her daughter and told you that her daughter was in that hotel room. And you continue talking about some Brooklyn need to be here. And Brooklyn, first off, don't tell her what to do. Okay? Second of all, that should have been your realization that you need to stop being a weirdo and leave her alone and walk away. But for you to argue with her, talking about whatever you were talking about was just crazy. That was crazy, Marlo. At the lunch, for you to feel like it was okay for you to overtalk Kenya, I thought was absolutely crazy. Okay. Which, again, the distinction, because I don't want y'all to forget this, I think it's okay for Kenya to feel like Brooklyn should be in another room. Okay, fine, you feel like that, because a lot of the fans, we feel like that. Why is we, for the third year, having another conversation about Kenya bringing her child on a trip in which we are trying to make television, and you are using your child as a excuse to not film because you're embarrassed that the charity event kicked your ass out? Right? So I don't blame Marlo for feeling like that, but the fact that you're gonna argue with that lady while the daughter in the room is weird. That's crazy. That's maniacal. That's like, that's you need more than sharing, baby. You need more than sharing. You need more than sharing. The way in which her feelings manifest into unacceptable behavior, manic behavior, erratic behavior, is scary. It's scary. I love Marlo, but it's scary. I love all the ladies, but it's scary. Slamming the door in Monyetta's face, okay. Like, you do too much. So, that's Marlo's downfall as far as the show is concerned. The show, they have a lot of issues. Y'all got to get it together because it's a hot damn mess. Let me know how y'all feel about everything. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day.